Hey everyone, welcome back to Whitetail Partners. My name is Greg Kazmersky with Whitetail Partners Ohio. We are back here in my office today. We're going to be breaking down a topic that can help you during this year's whitetail rut, and that is rut funnels. So for those of you that are new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. We have a lot of really great whitetail content coming out that we're excited to share with you. We don't want you to miss out on any of it. So with that being said, let's dive into some rut funnels. Now, for those of you who are new to reading topographic maps, you might be wondering what exactly rut funnels are and why you should care about them. My goal of this video is to help you understand the basics of identifying rut funnels on a topo map, show you exactly how I'm using them to hunt during the rut, and hopefully put you on track to have some success this November. So whether you are a seasoned hunter that's just looking for a new approach this fall, or you are a newbie that is really just trying to understand what a rut funnel is and how you can use them during the rut this year, I'm going to do my best to provide value to everybody. In the video, I'm going to be covering my 3 favorite funnels, which are saddles, drainages, and benches. So before we get started, go ahead and grab your phone and open up your favorite mapping app. Personally, I'm going to be using Onyx, and then also make sure you have your notepad at the ready, and we are going to dive into some maps. Simply put, a rut funnel is an area that condenses deer movement down into a specific location. In areas like what we are going to be covering today, where there's steeper elevation, these funnels are typically going to be those areas that are flatter in elevation in an otherwise steeper ridge system. So for hunters like us during the rut, these funnels become prime locations to intercept deer movement as the bucks are cruising through the hills and they're looking for that little bit of relief in the elevation to conserve energy and continue their pursuit. So when we hunt in or around these funnels, it can be a great way to improve our chances for success during November. Now let's start by looking at one of the most commonly talked about topographic features, which is the saddle. A saddle is the low point between 2 higher elevations, typically the hilltops. These areas can often be where a lot of magical things happen during the whitetail rut. So when you are hunting a saddle, you can expect the deer movement to be concentrated between those 2 hilltops. And during the rut, bucks will often use these saddles when they want to scent check an area that's on the opposite side of the ridge. So for a really good example, let's say that there is doe bedding on one side of the ridge and a primary food source on the other. That saddle becomes the main intersection for the buck to get from one area to the next, and you can position yourself accordingly to help improve your odds. Next, let's take a little bit of a closer look at arguably my favorite rut funnel, which is the drainage, more specifically the drainage top. A drainage top is almost like a triangle, and it is the first wide point along an otherwise steep drainage. It is often that first significant flat area you'll find within a few hundred feet of elevation. When you're hunting a drainage top, my preferred access is to go straight up that steep drainage, which really is no walk in the park, but it offers me a few key advantages that make it worth it. The steep walls of the drainage make it very unlikely for the deer to travel through, so that is why I like to walk directly up that drainage. By doing this, I leave no ground scent along where I anticipate the deer to travel, and my scent while I'm sitting in the tree will get pulled down the steep drainage behind me, always away from the deer. These drainage tops become hot spots during the rut because the bucks are burning energy as they navigate the hills searching for does. The tops provide them with a little bit of a break in elevation and allow them to conserve that energy. These areas become even more enticing to me when they're located on the downwind side of something like a doe bedding area. This is like the ultimate setup come November because the drainage top becomes a hub for buck activity, and they're provided that little bit of elevation relief and have the ability to scent check does in that specific area above. Last but certainly not least, we have the bench. A bench is the flat area along a ridge or a gently sloped spot on the side of the hills. Sometimes these benches can be hard to pick out on a topo map, but they can be prime locations for bucks to travel during the rut. For me, hunting a bench is a little bit of a chess match because my access is going to depend on whether it's a morning or an evening sit. When I'm hunting these benches in the morning, I prefer to access them from above the bench, and when I am hunting them in the evening, I prefer to access from below that bench. The reason being is that I'm trying to align my scent with the natural flow of thermals in the hill. In the morning, those thermals are going to rise up the hill and it's going to pull my scent along with it. While in the evenings, that is going to get that thermal pull coming down the hill, pulling my scent down with it. During the rut, I really love accessing and hunting these benches when the thermals make that switch from rising to pulling back down the ridge, and I'm going to access from underneath. I'll often see bucks begin to cruise these benches when those thermals switch, and they can start to collect information on what's going on up higher or on the very top of the ridge. All right, that's going to do it for our video today. I had a really good time breaking down my 3 favorite rut funnels: the saddle, the drainage, and the bench. I really hope that this video is going to provide some value to you guys and give you a game plan and the confidence to go out there and get some good tree time in this November. Don't forget to subscribe to our Whitetail Partners YouTube channel down below, and feel free to leave any comments about your favorite rut funnels, maybe some rut hunting stories, whatever that might look like. Until next time, folks, happy hunting.